I'm in bed. I'm sleepy. I'm exhausted. It's 2:43 in the morning, and I very rarely get to see my notifications except on nights that I just sort of need to, and every now and then I'll go through them, and you guys don't know what they all mean to me. And you never know what night I'm going through them, but if you ever see me going through them, it means something to me that night. Tonight I ran across something someone had tagged me in, and it wasn't even really a video. It was more like an advertisement. It was sort of maybe a little spammy, but I had to laugh at the irony of God and what that person either knew they were doing or didn't know they were doing. And it's leading you into this space of something on Instagram, // something, the Watchmaker. I'll tell you something about my grandpa. My grandpa was dirt poor, but the day that he died, they found enough money buried in mason jars around his property on our farm to take care of my grandmother and to the day that she died. He didn't own anything expensive. In fact, even his old black truck was falling apart. And, anywhere that we went, people gifted my grandfather with things because they honored him so deeply. Hello, Mr. Wilson. Hello, Mr. Wilson. And he would slow down traffic. This man was so good. You're on a tractor and people behind you ain't even honking. They're waiting on Mr. Wilson because he was a good man. Everybody loved my grandfather. The one thing of importance and anything of value that my grandfather owned was a Bible, a copy of The Last of the Mohegans, a copy of my picture in his wallet. And I was the only grandkid in his wallet when he passed. Don't tell anybody else that. And he always called it a timepiece, a pocket watch, a timepiece. I've always been a person that didn't care about money. But when I got older, God started having me buy expensive watches. Well, expensive to me. And I could never understand. And the first one I bought, I warred with God about it until God said, I promise you, if you buy it, I'll show you why. And I did. And it was a little strange. It was a little heavy on my wrist. It felt a little funny for a while until I wore it for half a year and God made me give it away. I buy another one exactly like it, identical. And at first, I think, God, I don't know why I need another one. And he was like, do you remember? And I'm like, yeah. And this time I'm less hesitant. I buy it, I check out. It's a little more expensive than the last one. It's almost identical, right? Then I run into this family. God gives me a prophetic word for them. I don't have any idea until I'm leaving that the night before, the man's wife had passed, and the woman that was with him with his daughter, and she had lost her mother the night before. And God made me give them the watch. And it was all about, I don't even remember what the word was. All I know is before I knew it, I was in the floor of the Olive Garden praying over this family, weeping and crying, and everybody was just watching us. When I opened my eyes, I get lost in the Spirit. They were lost in the Spirit. They loved Jesus. And all I know was that night, everybody on looked at something that night that had nothing to do with nothing but a prophetic word, a watch, and God moving in God-like time. Well, that watch is gone, and God moves me on to another watch. That watch got gave away. The watch after that got gave away. The watch I have right now, don't know when I'll give it away, but one day I'll give it away. And I tell you that story not to say that I'm anything important, because I'm not. God had to push me to do that very first purchase of that thing that seems so silly, so asinine to a farm kid. But I don't call watches watches anymore. I call them timepieces, because in time, God will piece it all together. The Watchmaker. You know what? Even when y'all spam me out, you don't know what you're saying to me. And maybe you do. I don't know. But I cannot tell you how God is so omnipotent. God, the omnipotent God, the omnipresent God, the God that lives outside of time and space and can be everywhere all together all at once. So if you're sitting here watching time and you're wondering when it's going to happen, I need you to do me a favor and trust the Watchmaker. Trust that he's trusted people and entrusted people with something that may be on its way to you. And maybe the reason that it's taking a minute is because he's having to convince them why they need to buy the time in the first place. And before you know it, the time makes it to you. Maybe you're the next in line for the time that God has. Maybe you're the next in line for the Watchmaker. You never know when your time will come for the Watchmaker to show up in your life.